everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Tower. Today we're taking a look at Battle of Legends Volume 3. And I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Battle of Legends Volume 3 Unmatched, or I should say Unmatched, is a series that we've both enjoyed for a long time.
Love it.
I love it as well. I have my favorites and some that I think are just good, but there's none that I would say are out and out not good.
I agree, yes. You're counting Marvel in there too, right?
I'm counting it all, yeah.
Okay.
I'm counting, mainly I'm counting...
the non-IP stuff.
The vampire hunter lady, what's her name? Buffy.
Oh, Buffy.
Yeah, I'm counting Buffy in that. I think Buffy's fine, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, none of it is bad, is my point.
No.
And I like the Battle of Legends series because it feels untethered by intellectual properties, by concept, by really kind of anything. It's like it's sort of like the truest expression of Unmatched.
I agree, and this one's untethered by itself.
Yes.
You can't even say, oh, this is all that genre. It is across the board.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
You have characters from mythology, from history, from... it's a cryptid in here, for goodness sake. He's real. Don't worry about it. But he's a cryptid, and so I like that as a foot forward. The kind of like this is what we're doing. We're going all out with the wild stuff.
Yep.
And many of these are in many ways wild. I'm going to go ahead and show you not how to play the game. You should know how to play the game by now. And if you don't, you can go back and watch some of our previous videos to do that.
And shame on you.
But we are going to take a look at kind of a little bit of how these guys look. I'll give you a look at the two sides of the board quickly as well. And we'll come on back, give you some final thoughts. So let's start off taking a look at the maps here. We've got Venice on this side, which has some interesting long channels that are seen here. And sometimes if you do get stuck in there, then it's until you're playing it, you won't realize it, but you're thinking, oh, I gotta get out of here. So, that's going to happen sometimes on these long straightaways. And then on the other side, pretty standard map, on the other side then we've got Santa's Workshop. Not sure why it's Santa's Workshop, but it is a very strange map that has a conveyor belt here, as well as some one-way arrows. So the idea with the conveyor belts being at the end of a turn, any figures on conveyor belt spaces will be moved ahead on the conveyor belt. And also then this is the bin of toys, and it's sort of like a way in which you get dumped in and you can only get out in some specific ways. So you can get out this way here. You can't climb back out. That's the idea. So interesting, whimsical, kind of a strange one. Also you'll see this here, which is a conveyor belt part that just goes to a toy box or whatever is in there. That's in there. So that's the idea for the maps. Let's take a look at the characters now. Let's start up here with Blackbeard. Blackbeard is going to come with these doubloons as well as this token to hold the doubloons while he does not have them. He has 13 life. He's got a couple of pirate buddies, sea dogs, that are going to be hanging out with him. So the idea is here that Blackbeard is going to begin with 2 of these doubloons, and the other one is on this tile, somewhere on the board, near the other player or players, ideally. Many of the things he is going to trigger can be canceled by the other players if they give him some money, if they pay a ransom, if they take a coin from here and give it to Blackbeard. But then Blackbeard can use this money by throwing it back in there to do various things, starting with 2 that are printed right here. Well, one of them's a penalty, really, but the top one here, at the start of your turn as Blackbeard, you can pay 1 doubloon to get an action. So pretty powerful. You can, as long as you have coins, you can buy an extra action for your whole round. The second one's a penalty. Whenever you take damage, combat damage, you have to pay 1. Now, the rest of these cards, like I said, many of them, and everything I just explained is right there, many of them are going to have abilities that can be canceled, like I said. For example, Fearsome and Calculating here. Immediately look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card for them to discard, unless doubloon. So, when this is revealed in a combat, I will read that. My opponent can then decide, yeah, fine, you can look at my hand and discard a card, or they give me 1 of these, and that's canceled. Very interesting, putting a lot of the gameplay on your opponent, forcing them to have to do some interesting things. And there will be plenty of these that are going to have that ability that triggers basically on whatever they want to do. Yeah, sometimes you'll have them all and then they can't do that. And sometimes they'll be all on here and they refuse to give them to you. But that's rare. With 3 especially in play, that's going to be pretty rare. So there you go. That is the main gimmick of the character. Sometimes they are, you know, multiple things that could be canceled. Every time that there's this yellow text, basically, it has to do with these doubloons in play. So there you go. That is Blackbeard and his gold doubloons. Let's talk about Loki here. Loki has no sidekicks. Loki has tricks in his deck of cards here. And the idea being that every time Loki plays a trick, and they'll be labeled trick something something, once this card is done resolving, instead of going to your cleanup, and during the cleanup to your discard pile, it goes to your opponent's hand. They put it in their hand. You can tell what it is from the back. And they can play this card. But when they play it, they do this not Loki part down here, which is always beneficial for the Loki player. And so you can do something on your own turn and then force them to basically help you, and you know what they're holding also, and you know when they're playing it, and so on. So for example, this one here is after combat you draw a card, then you give them this, it's in their hand, and whenever they play it against you, after combat, deal 2 damage to your hero, as in their hero. And then this card is cleaned up and discarded in Loki's discard pile. But what about if they just discard the card to boost, or because they're over 7? Well, first of all, none of them have boosts, so that's not going to happen. But also if they discard a card, so let's say they've got this card, and they get above 7 and they choose to discard it, well, then I have a choice to make, and I can either, as Loki, add this to my hand again, or I can put it on the top of my deck instead of letting it be discarded. Basically, it's gonna get used against you. You don't have a way around that. And there's a few different, things that these tricks will do. One other thing that's going on, while your opponent is holding these trick cards, Loki's movement is boosted. It says add +1 to your move value for each trick in your opponent's hands. So all the tricks out there, you get +1 to your value, which can certainly add up. So Loki can be quite fast and agile around the board. So there you go. There's a few different things here that are going to come into play with these tricks. Not every card is a trick, but many of them are going to allow you to mess with your opponent. That is what Loki is doing. Let's take a look at Pandora. Pandora here is going to come with a deck of cards that represents Pandora's box. And at the beginning of every round, the very first thing you must do is open Pandora's box. How does that work? We're going to shuffle up these cards, and you're going to reveal one. That card is going to have some ability on it, and possibly 1 or more feathers. So for example, Toil. Add +1 to the value of Pandora's attacks this turn. Pretty good. Now I can choose to stop and take a normal turn. Pandora will use some of her cards to take her 2 actions, what have you. Or I can keep going. I can keep opening Pandora's box. If I flip another one, this one says Hope. Look at the top card of Pandora's box before deciding whether to reveal it. Okay, great. I'm going to take a look. That would be bad. Misfortune is bad. It only has feathers. I would stop revealing, and I've revealed 2 of these now. Many of the cards are going to reference how many Pandora's box cards got flipped, and in this case, that number would be 2. If I ever hit 3 feathers while I'm revealing cards, let's say for some reason this hadn't let me peek and I reveal another one, boom, 3 feathers. I immediately am going to lose 1 life for every one of these I revealed, and I have to stop revealing cards and just go take my normal turn with my 2 actions. So that is what's going on there, and that's what this card reminds you of. So let's take a look here at some of the things that her deck is going to do, as well as some of the, well, we should take a look at the rest of these cards. You've seen these 3 already. Pain here, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter that's adjacent to Pandora. summon a Cacodemon here, which are these guys, and they begin off the board, actually, in this game. And then you've got draw a card with a feather, and you've got move Pandora up to 1 space. So those are all the cards, all 7 cards in her Pandora's box deck of cards there. And then she's got a few other things. So, discard the top card of your deck, add its boost. She's got some nice movement there. Let me find the ones that are going to care about those revealed misery cards, is what they're called. So here, during combat, add +1 to this card's value for each revealed misery. So in the example, this would actually be a 5 if I had revealed those 2 cards. And then after combat, I look at my opponent's hand. There's a few different ones like that. This one with Zeus. Draw 1 card for each revealed misery, and then I gain an action and whatnot. This one, I'm going to recover health. 1 health for each revealed misery. So lots of the cards reward you for pushing your luck, but you got to be careful you don't do it too often, or you could literally kill yourself in this game. She has 14 health. And I've certainly had games with her where I have taken myself out of the game, which was fun, but can happen. So that is Pandora and the things you'll be doing with her. And then lastly, we've got Chupacabra here, who is going to also have no sidekicks. He has 14 health, and he has a very simple ability here, which is after you attack, you may draw a card. He also has an inherent move of 3, and he has a lot of hard-hitting stuff and a lot of healing himself. So, for example, this one here, ambush. During combat, your opponent discards 1 random card. Add its boost value to this card's value. So, taking out their hand of cards. Tooth and nail after combat. Deal 1 damage to up to 2 figures adjacent to Chupacabra, and then he recovers 1 health for each fighter damaged this way, because you're biting them. Here we go. Ravenous Lunge. He recovers 1 health. If you want, he recovers 2. And he's got, if you already won a combat, he's got some of this stuff where he wants to hit twice in a row. If you already won 1 combat, then he gets a better bonus. He's got another healing card in here somewhere, which is pretty good. Yeah, he's basically, and this is another sub-theme here of the Chupacabra's cards, is that if he's wounded, some things get better if he's hurting. So, for example, this one here, Wounded Beast. During combat, if Chupacabra has 7 or less health, this card's value is 5 instead. And there's a little bit of that as a concept in this deck as well. So there you go. That is Chupacabra with a pretty straightforward concept. And that's all the characters and the 2 maps. Let's go ahead and go back up top.
So one thing I will mention, that they did say this will be the last volume in this. Only because I think the volume 3 would confuse people.
Right.
Because it's more of a naming issue.
It is, right. They said this is the last Battle of Legends only because when people at the store look at this and go, Volume 3, oh no, I haven't played Volume 2.
Right.
And they won't pick this up, which I get it. I understand it's a naming, a paradox a little bit. But I believe they will continue to do this idea of sort of throwing 4 things plucked from anywhere into a box and having at it. So
I love that, by the way.
I do too. And I love to mix them, all of that stuff. So, interestingly, 3 of these 4 are actually from contests that they've had for designs.
Okay.
And I guess they're contest winners now, or
guess the 3?
They were runners up, I guess. I don't know what it was. Yes, you can guess. What do you think?
Loki.
Loki is one of those.
All right, we're going to go Pandora.
Okay.
Blackbeard. No, Chupacabra. One of those 2.
Chupa Chup?
Chupa Chup.
It is Loki, Chupacabra, and Blackbeard.
Oh, so not Pandora.
Pandora is designed by the people that normally design these games.
Okay, all right.
Okay. As far as the designs themselves, I thought that there's a good mix in here of strange, of reaching for the sky in many ways.
Yes.
But also of clarity of purpose in many ways. Like, for example, Chupacabra is really not that weird or that out there.
He's a
This is a fine character to start with.
Right.
It's strong. It lets you draw cards. It'll keep you sort of in cards as long as you are attacking, which makes sense. But it is not weird. Like, I would not have any hang-ups of teaching somebody with Chupacabra.
100%. Now, opposed to the other ones, I think they're more... I hate to use the word advanced because none of them are overcomplicated, I think.
Right.
But I don't think you would start with those.
I think maybe Loki is the one that is the weirdest.
Yes,
This
I agree.
idea of I play a card, it does something for me, I have to hand it to you, then you have it. You could play it. You play it and it does something slightly different, then we discard it in my discard pile. But if you find a way to discard it from your own hand, it comes back to my hand, or I can put it on the deck. Okay, it's cool. I like the idea of Loki being a trickster. But it is towing the line of, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
It is. And for him, it is towing the line for being just annoying for me. Because
playing
against Loki, yeah, 100%. I'm like, I mean, I think he's very powerful.
Yeah, he's very powerful.
But extremely, which honestly is really thematic for Loki. It's very annoying.
I will say this. I like all four of these characters.
Yep.
Loki's my least favorite.
Yes, I agree. Which is sad because he is powerful. People are going to gravitate to him because he's pretty strong.
Yes. But I find his gimmick gimmicky. And you want a gimmick to read and sound like, ooh, that's crazy, how tricky. And then you play and go, I got this.
Yeah.
You don't want it to feel tricky and gimmicky while you're also playing. And that's kind of where I'm at with him. The other three, I'll switch to the other side now and go to my favorite. My favorite is Pandora.
100%. That's
that too? You too?
Oh, 100%.
Really? Oh my god!
I love the push your luck.
Why don't I just
aspect.
do this by myself?
I agree.
Go have a coffee break.
Oh, I always have coffee breaks. No, Pandora. I mean, you push your luck, and every time, and it doesn't take away from the game at all because the other person's going, just do it, because you might take a hit, but it feels so good.
I really do like that.
I do too, and that's what impresses me too is how unique all of these are. You keep wondering, are they going to run out of ideas? But they have this uniqueness, each one. Even Loki, although I don't really like that mechanic, especially playing against it, it's unique.
Yes, it is. Very unique, yeah. But yeah, Pandora has that push your luck thing, and I really do love it. Plus, it has the best artwork in here. I really love the artwork for the Pandora deck. It's wonderful. Yeah. I think the Chupacabra one, like I said, is very straightforward. You kind of have to decide if you like it or not, but there's no big, surprises. He's a pretty simple character. And then Blackbeard, for me, is interesting because it's very opponent-driven.
Yes.
And that could go well or badly for you if you are... I played a game in which I played against someone who
would not give you doubloons.
Won't give you doubloons no matter what. They're like, I'm not giving you power. And it's sort of it's a catch-22 because they are giving me power by not giving me the doubloons. I get to do the things on my card.
Yeah.
But it feels, in some people's heads, I think they'll go, I'm not going to help you. I'm not giving you the money. The money's too good or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So it could be a player-driven thing. I think it's incredibly well-balanced, though. I do think it is often worth giving the coins. Because if you hurt them, they have to pay it. They have to give it up.
Right.
They don't just keep that coin. If you manage to deal damage to Blackbeard, they bleed out that money. So it's super well put together. Mm-hmm. It's my second favorite in the box, and I think it is incredibly well designed, but it is opponent dependent in a way.
It is. I probably like Chupa, but I like the simplicity. I like everything. And also, the fact that the abilities on these guys are great, but I love when you see a card, you're like, that's good, that's clever.
Yeah.
Chupa's got that card where it is a 0 attack, but you are hoping they play an attack card.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's a great moment.
It's so good, especially when the person's
he doubles. I don't know if I covered it in the overview, but it is a card the Chupacabra plays. It's a 0 strength attack, and it doubles the opponent's value on their defense card. So if they, don't defend or pull off something tricky, you're like, man, I didn't get you. You know what I mean? So it has it's an interesting conundrum.
It is. So I like seeing those unique cards come up. You're like, that's clever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those in this deck.
Yeah, I agree. I will mention two more things, one positive, one negative. The positive, and I think in my opinion, the secret MVP here of the box.
Oh, here it comes.
Is the Christmas side of the board. What is it? Santa's Workshop. side of the board.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
That conveyor belt is fantastic.
That conveyor belt is good stuff. It's not something that, upon reading, I thought would be that big of a deal. But that's fun, man. That's cool. You can hit somebody and then have the conveyor belt like back you off. You're like, come and get me. Or vice versa. It's really interesting. It works well.
It does. It does. It gives a timing issue because always the best thing is I want to hit twice, but I have to move away. But I'm on a conveyor belt. It feels good.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the other map is fine. The other map is a little bit, I like it, but it's funny how close you can be. You can look at somebody and you have to walk around because
There's just loopy areas. Yeah, they're a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a different style map.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll mention, this is a little bit of extrapolation, but and I haven't done it. I want to clarify, but these characters are going to be weird, certainly Loki, in Unmatched Adventures. I've seen online, there's a whole FAQ for how to deal with Loki in Unmatched Adventures. Part of his gimmick is to give the opponent cards. Well, Unmatched Adventures doesn't really work that way, so it can be done. I saw online there was a write-up of how to do it. I just don't want to have to deal with a write-up.
Right.
So be aware of that. This might not be the best set to jump into first.
No.
If you love Unmatched Adventures, the cooperative version of this game.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's some of our thoughts. That's what's in here. You know what you're getting. What do you think, Joey? Where are you coming down on this one?
Could have a 9 on this, only because I love everything Unmatched. Although Loki is frustrated, I think they should be. I think he should be. It's very thematic for him. I think this is on point. I think that Santa's Workshop is going to be great to play with everybody else. Pandora, again, that extra deck, it feels good because you can end up killing yourself, but have a great time doing it.
It's a fantastic character.
Yeah, this is a great pack. This is a must, I think.
Yeah, I'm coming in just slightly below you at an 8.5. I'm docking it a little bit. I thought Loki was a little tricky. The sort of how difficult it is going to be to throw some of them into, Loki and Blackbeard with the coins, your opponent giving you coins when you're playing cooperative. That's drawing it back a little bit. The artwork on some of the decks, I don't super love. There's a couple of niggling issues for me personally. But this is a good box with a lot of interesting stuff, and just Pandora by herself is elevating this tremendously for me.
Yes, 100%.
So for me, this is a great one to check out. Certainly don't leap over previous releases to get this one. I wouldn't say do that. But if you've already got yourself some Battle of Legends 1 and 2, then yes, absolutely, get 3. Throw it in there, mix and match, have fun with this one. So there you go, folks. That is Battle of Legends Volume 3. That is a seal of excellence from us here at the Dice Tower. And that's going to do it. My name is Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Watch out for the Chupacabra.
They're everywhere.
If you're a goat, especially.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.